Today, I am going to be ranking every medic weapon on Killing Floor 3 from worst to best, looking at guns on the hard difficulty, and on both solo and multiplayer. Without any further ado, let's get right into this.
I am justice.
Coming in at the number 5 spot, the very bottom of the list, I place the Biomorphic Projector, or as I call it, the Defecator. Because it's such a poopy gun, you may as well just be crapping on the Zeds with it. Just a gun I really didn't like, largely due to its limited range, heavy weight, and price. The damage is okay at best, dealing 70 DPS with a 350 magazine and 3,500 total ammo, and it does have an alternate fire mode which shoots out a healing beam to use on teammates, but unlike the healing darts of the other medic weapons, I don't believe it can be used to damage Zeds, versus healing darts which can be used to off enemies in emergency situations. Also, this gun could get a little glitchy, like just disappearing on me at one point and I was using an invisible gun, which was honestly kind of funny, but the gun also seemed to randomly switch firing modes sometimes. That, or I kept accidentally hitting the alternate fire button and somehow didn't notice, which I doubt. But even when it works normally, I still place it at the bottom of my list. Maybe if it was the spawn-in weapon instead of the VS11, I wouldn't put it at the bottom, but since you have to pay for it and I prefer the VS11, yeah, it's my least favorite medic gun. And for anyone wondering, I use the Firestarter skin, Fear the Reaper keychain, and combustible AF sticker for cosmetics. Not the worst gun in the game, but still pretty bad in my opinion. Enough said about it, onto the next weapon. Coming in at the number 4 spot, I hand this one to the KH380 pistol, the sidearm for the medic perk. It's weaker than some of the other pistols of the game, dealing 60 damage per shot versus, say, the Sharpshooter Disciple revolver, which deals over 100 DPS, but it does have a decent sized magazine, holding 10 bullets along with 150 total ammo, and it holds up to 3 recharging healing darts, which can be used to aid teammates or as infinite secondary ammo, which deals 40 damage per shot onto the Zeeks, so a nice little feature. I wouldn't take on a Scrake with this thing, but it gets the job done against smaller Zeds and is handy for taking down cameras in between waves, and I think it rightfully earns its number 4 slot on my list. I personally made a custom one named Red Pistol, with the pre-order Flatliner skin, Fear the Reaper keychain, and the Chimera Project sticker. Enough said about this gun, onto my number 3 slot. Batting up for third place, I hand this one to the VS11 submachine gun, a lightweight weapon with a low reload time, and it's a pretty handy piece of weaponry, with a 40 round magazine and 600 total ammo, in addition to holding 30 healing darts which can be used as emergency ammo. While it doesn't have great damage, 60 DPS, the same as your backup pistol, its high ammo, high range, low recoil, lightweight, and free price all contribute to help make this a pretty solid gun, and it rightfully earns my third place trophy. I personally made a couple custom variants, one with the name Make 'em Bleed, with the Flatliner skin, Fear the Reaper keychain, and Chimera sticker, and another with the name Bringer of Death. Fitting name for a medic weapon, am I right? With the Boneyard skin and the Fear the Reaper keychain. That's all I have to say about this weapon, onto second place. Blasting its way onto my number 2 position, I give this one to the K&W MP6 SMG. A very good gun, one of my favorites in the game, dishing out 70 DPS, which isn't a huge improvement over the VS11, but it has quite the ammo boost, holding a 45 bullet mag and 840 total ammunition. So lots of bullets, yo. The price is pretty fair and it comes with 30 healing darts, which are always nice to have, and this weapon earned second place on my list. I made a custom one by the name of Blue MP6 with the chromatic blue skin, cyst Z ball keychain, and flesh pound sticker. Time to move on to the number 1 spot, what I consider the best weapon of the perk, the LF85. The LF85 is some sort of a wonder weapon. I'm not sure if I should call it a SMG or an AR, but it's a great gun overall, dealing 125 damage per shot with its primary fire, and it holds a 300 magazine round with 5,100 total ammo. Although it uses 10 ammo per shot, so it's technically more like a 30 round mag and 510 total ammo, but it's still a great gun with that being said. It has a high rate of fire and healing darts which deal 100 damage per shot, and it technically has unlimited healing darts recharged by killing Zeds with the primary fire, although it can only hold a maximum of 30 darts at a time, which I guess is pretty fair. This gun's only drawback is that it is expensive, but it is 100% worth saving up for, and it earns the number 1 spot as the best medic gun in my opinion. I couldn't think of a cool name to give it, but I made a custom variant with the Firestarter skin and laser safety keychain. And that is all from me for today, folks. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to check out my previous episodes, where I ranked all Commando and Sharpshooter guns. Links to those videos in the end cards and description, and I will likely be ranking all Firebug guns for the next video in my mini-series. As far as our Bible verse of the day, I read from Matthew chapter 3, verse 8 NIV. Produce fruit in keeping with repentance. And that is all from me for now, folks. I hope you liked my video. As always, none of my content is made by AI, and I do not consent to my voice and likeness being modified, copied, or replicated by AI in any way, shape, or form. Have a great day. Give your life to Jesus before it's too late. Take it easy. Peace.